Hey guys, welcome back to Stationery Muse. All week long is Live, Love, Inspire Week in celebration of the Live, Love, Inspire collection that will be launching on Friday, July 19th. I am so excited about it, and I just wanted to start this video series with the very first video talking all about fear and how to conquer it so that you can accomplish anything that you want to do in life. I created the fear model recently for the Live, Love, Inspire notebook. That's actually the whole premise of what it was built on. And now I want to share it with you guys in a little bit of a different way to show you how you can have it work with you in any part of your life. So I hope that you are ready for that. Change is crazy. Yeah. Change is crazy. So today we are going to break it down and we're going to go through why fear should not stop you from anything. If anything, it's something you can conquer, and it should really be a very minimal factor when it comes to getting things done. And I feel like a dream or a goal, it can be something as small as just wanting to get up an hour earlier to something as big as wanting to prepare to buy a home. This will really work in any situation, because I think one of the things that stops us is negativity and the fear that we have associated with that. And so today I hope that I will help you guys to overcome some of your fears, and we'll go over the fear model. So the fear model is broken up as an acronym with the letters FEAR, of course. And so we're going to break down each one. And F is find the purpose. So there are so many reasons why we pursue a goal, and finding the purpose is basically finding the source of that reason. What is the reason that you are wanting to pursue something? It could be you want to start exercising a little bit more. Maybe you want to build a relationship with somebody. You want to start a business. You want to clean out this closet that you have been avoiding for years. There are so many different things, but there's always a purpose as to why you want to do something. Let's use the example of wanting to build a better relationship with someone. And this is something that I actually personally have experienced over the last couple of years in building a better relationship with my dad. It's still something that's in the works and, getting better over time. For me, growing up, I never really had a close relationship with my dad, just for various reasons. He was always there all the time. My parents were married the whole time, with me growing up. We just never really had an emotional relationship at all. And, I would always just look at other girls and friends that I had and just the relationships that they had with their father. And I would just be like, why are me and my dad not like that? And so it always really bothered me. And even though I tried to ignore it, I knew that it was something that was important to me. And so around the time when I was getting ready to get married and I was finally just like, okay, my parents had just recently gotten a divorce, and I didn't want the divorce to be like the end of me having any type of connection with my dad, because a lot of times I talked to him through my mom typically. After their divorce happened and, things kind of settled, I realized that the relationship was really important to me, and I wanted to make some extra efforts, or at least make it known how I felt. And even me talking about it right now just makes me teary. And that's how I know that, this is the purpose. It's something that bothered me, and it was something that was so important to me that I wanted that relationship with my dad. And so that is about finding your purpose. And when you find your purpose, sometimes it will make you get a little emotional, because it's one of those things that really kind of connects to your heart. And that is going to be such a huge factor in the fear model. Okay, so the E in fear is to erase the doubt. So in my example of what I was using with what I've been dealing with as far as my relationship with my dad, I really just felt doubtful about even pursuing it, because I don't know, the track record that we were already on, it was just kind of like, it was like we were already used to the way things were, and I didn't really want to get hurt. I didn't want to put myself out there and say like, okay, I want to build this better relationship with you, only to maybe get shut down. And not that I really felt like my dad would do that, but I think when you just don't know how outcome of something can be, you literally have like mind chatter, as my husband calls it. You have these different thoughts that come in and out of your mind, good or bad, and it just allows you to almost play out the scenario before it has even happened. And that is all playing a role in what could be the doubts that you're feeling. But doubt is such a huge thing that stops us, and it hinders us from progressing. It pauses the progression, which is how I just love to explain doubt. It really does. But when you erase the doubt, that is when you take away any opposition or anything that you may have that could be stopping you from getting to your end goal. But the way that this exercise basically works is that you will write down every single negative doubt, comment, thought, feeling, whatever that goes against what you're trying to do. And so what are the things that you're telling yourself that are stopping you from getting to the next level, or to even taking the first step to doing what it is that you want to do? Address those. Take a piece of paper, write all of them down, and really look at them. Address them before they even happen. And that's what I love about erasing the doubt, because you're addressing something, you're facing it before you even have to. And it gives you this power that you almost never knew that you had, because you already have dealt with it and you can kind of keep it moving. So when it does come at you, if you are in that situation and it does come at you, which 9 times out of 10 it may not even happen, because these are all just things that we think. These are all of the oppositions. It could be negative feedback from your family or your friends. The way that you think, oh, well, maybe I won't be able to learn this, so that I won't be able to do it. Or it could be money. There's a lot of different things that can play into the doubts that we have for why we can't do something. And so I really want you to take the time out to list out every single one of those doubts and face them head on. And then what I love the most about it is then you're going to take it and you're going to cross it out, because it does not matter, you guys. The doubt at the end of the day is a huge factor of the fear. And when you finally have addressed it and you realize that it's something that could potentially happen, and it's kind of like, okay, it could happen, it just gives you so much more of a freedom and so much more of the confidence that you need to know that, okay, I've addressed this already. I'm ready to hit the ground running. So that is erase the doubt. So the next thing is action, action, action. That is the A. So with action, it can actually be, it's one of my favorite things, because it's finally like, okay, I've been saying that I want to do this thing and now I'm actually going to go do it. But at the same time, it can be one of the most difficult things, because here I am getting ready to actually make something happen. I actually have to do this now. So it's really interesting when you finally take something from it just being a thought in your mind to actually putting it into actionable tasks. And so what I always love to say is to just come up with your first 3 steps. And I find that that is something really attainable and really easy to figure out and to just slowly start diving into. For my situation with my dad, I feel like I'm constantly always making actions, because I want this to be something that's recurring. And some of the goals and the things that you may be pursuing, it may not be something as cut and dry like, I want to lose X amount of pounds, you know. It may be something more deep, like you do want to build a relationship with somebody, which a relationship is an ongoing thing. And so these first 3 steps, you can look at them as a start to your journey, whether it may be, you know, a quick one, or it could be a lifelong journey. But these are the first 3 steps to getting you there. And so for me, one of the first things I wanted to do was just get my thoughts out on paper. I love to just write letters. Sometimes I'll give it to the person, sometimes I won't, but it's just a way for me to clear my mind. And so that was the first thing I did. I literally wrote out everything I felt, the hurt I felt from growing up, so that I could stop holding it inside of me. And that was one of my first steps. And then from there, I was like, okay, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to have this conversation with my dad, and just discuss with him why this is something that I want to pursue. And I remember that day like it was yesterday, you guys. It was really hard for me to call him, but I did. And it was really emotional. Like I don't remember, I know I did cry a little bit, but I don't think it was like really bad. I know I cried like once I got off the phone with him, because it just felt like such a vulnerable place to be in. And I think with anything that we pursue, we are putting ourselves out there in a sense, you know, whatever it is. And you're just hoping that, you know, whatever it is you want to come back to you in abundance, or whatever that is, you know, like a great relationship or a healthier lifestyle or your booming business or whatever it is, you're putting yourself out there in the hopes that things work out. But action is seriously the key to getting there, and it is the key to doing anything in life. You have to take the action. You have to make it happen by doing it. And it's just about finally taking those steps to make it happen. So then the last thing is to remember why I started. and that is the R in the fear model. It's the last piece of the puzzle, and it's the most important because it is the why. So the first thing I mentioned to you guys back at the beginning of the video was the fear, which was finding the purpose. And your purpose and your why are pretty much hand in hand because it is the reason of why you are doing something. It's that source that is pulling you to want to get to this end result. And so to me, your why should be that thing that reminds you anytime you're feeling the doubt, anytime negativity is kicking in, anytime you just want to jump ship for whatever reason, your why is what will kind of bring you centered. And so even think about it in the terms of like, when people get famous and different things like that, and you have those people that are just humble and they're grounded. A lot of times it'll be because they remember where they came from. They remember their roots. They remember the trenches that they had to come through, and that keeps them from getting like a big head or whatever the case is, and it keeps them humble. And so if you look at it in terms of that situation, but look at it in a smaller scale, and like I really feel there was a job that I used to work at, and they really made a big deal about why, and that really stuck with me from when I worked there, because it would be so crazy to just see how women would kind of start a conversation, and then they would break it down to why they're really doing something. And a lot of times they were so emotional about it, they would start crying, you guys. And so that is what your why should do for you. It should bring you to a vulnerable state within yourself, to know like, okay, this is why I'm doing this. And so back to my example of with my dad, I really just felt like, even to this day, because like I said, this is a lifelong journey, there are times when I may just want to be like, okay, I'll just let like this week go by and I won't say anything, just for whatever reason, just because it's still something programmed in my mind where I just don't talk to my dad, So it's something that I'm always constantly working on, and I'm constantly trying to make it a habit. I just have to always remind myself like, okay, this is important to me. I love my dad. I want to see this relationship only grow. I want him to have a great relationship with my daughter. So what's amazing is that my dad actually came here to visit us by himself. He came here a couple weeks ago, and for the first time in my life, sorry guys, but for the first time in my life, it was like I really got to see the why. Like I never have really hung out with my dad one-on-one at all, which I know sounds crazy. But he was here for like 3 or 4 days, and it was really cool. Like we just, we chilled, we talked, but I really didn't realize how much I needed that until it happened. And it just reminded me of why. The relationship is just so important to me. That is why I started it. That is why, 3 years ago, when I had that conversation with him, that was so difficult, that, broke me down at that point. I doubt that if I ever would have had that conversation with him, he never would have knew how I felt. He never would have made the extra effort. I never would have made the extra effort, and we never would have just had that trip a couple weeks ago that was just amazing and needed. And so these are the things that you want to think about for your why. What is the reason of something? What is the reason of why you started something? And that should always be that thing that keeps you going no matter what. But yeah, so that is all about remembering why you started. What is that thing that got you going to begin with? And that will always keep you going. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. I actually do have a little free printable for you down below that just basically lists the fear model and gives you a chance to kind of write down some of your thoughts and things. You can apply this model to literally anything in your life. It could be so many different things where you just want to take a moment. I feel like it should almost just be like a given in any type of goal situation or a to-do list or just whatever, where you're just kind of like, okay, let me just kind of sit down and just find my purpose really quick. Okay, what are the doubts and things that I'm kind of feeling about this? Okay, what are the actions I need to take? My to-do list. And then why am I starting this? What is going to be the thing that's going to remind me to keep going when I need it? If you do want that printable, that will be down below. And really quick, I just wanted to remind you that you should not let fear stop you from doing anything. It should really be just how we broke it down, something that you do have to work through, of course, because it's just real, people have fear of success, failure, unknown, uncertainty, self-doubt, there's so many different things that we face. And I just don't want that for you. I want you to be able to conquer it and have the confidence to still keep it moving and do everything that you want to do in life, because life is just too short really for it to be any other way. If it's something that you don't know, find it out. If you're feeling kind of unsure, get sure. You know, these are all things that are very minimal when you will look back at it one day and be like, wow, I let a whole year go by because I was nervous to do this, that, and the third. I waited a whole year to start my Stationery Muse business because I just was scared. I felt like it was just going to be a waste of my time, or that nobody was going to be interested. I was just really didn't even know where to get started, and that allowed me to just keep putting it off. But it's just like, why? And I really, 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 really just hope that you do remember that fear should not matter. If anything, it should just be something that should almost drive you to want to do it more. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. And if you have not already, subscribe to the Stationery Muse channel. I'm making new videos every week. And for this particular week, almost every single day this week, it is the Live Love Inspired collection launch. So tons of amazing items are going to be available in the shop, including the Live Love Inspired notebook, which again, if you have not checked it out, please do. It's an amazing goal setting workbook / notebook that will help you get anything done that you just have been wanting to do, but you're not quite sure where to start. You may be feeling a little bit some doubt, and it just helps you to work through all of those things to make it happen. So thank you so much. Again, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.